And we are back, episode 44, Drop the Green, season 2. Coming off a really, really good race week. Don't you agree?
I agree, man.
Perfect. So it was excellent, yeah. So we, as always, we'll dedicate this episode to somebody, episode 44. This week's overview is going to be on pay to play. We'll recap Homestead, talk about who stood out, get into our head-to-heads, see where we're shaking out on Drop the Green Bets, do a little Martinsville predictions, and close with the Choose Who zone. You got something to add?
Yeah, I got something to add. Guys, new intro song this week. Huge shout-out to J.D. Hudgens. He is a band here. One of our friends, his friend, connected us with him. They dropped a new single, Shining Coal, and he has allowed us to use it as the song for our intro.
Nice.
So
awesome. Can't thank him enough.
Yeah, can't. His description will be in the video. Go listen to it, download it. Huge shout out to him. Thank you, man.
Yep. So y'all be listening up. It's even better than what we had before, I think.
Yeah,
so,
it's great.
We'll get right into it. As always, my name's Austin.
My name's Spencer.
Let's drop the green.
In the land of shining coal, back down that valley where the roosters crow, and a man defends his own. I got no problems if I stand alone. In the land of shining coal, back down that valley where the roosters crow, and a man defends his own. I got no problems if I stand alone.
Man, what a song.
I know, don't you like that?
I do like that a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like we had Whiskey Myers before. Great song.
Yeah.
But I feel like we kind of have our own thing now.
It's our own thing, and now everyone gets to hear it, so we don't have to cut it out for the
because
podcast
on
listener.
Apple and Spotify, y'all just
Oh,
we said drop the green,
and then it's
we're
us talking
and then it's
again.
us like because we take a shot of whiskey during the song. So
Yeah.
so now everybody gets to enjoy it. Make sure y'all hit that link, check them out, because they've got a lot of other good songs too, if I remember right.
I think that's the only one they've released,
the only
but
one? Okay.
they do have some other music. But I will say, I got to messaging with him. Dude's super cool. He's actually from North Georgia, so he is friends with the Elliott family.
No kidding.
Yeah. So his uncle
Is he a
worked.
Georgia fan?
I believe he's a Georgia fan. I didn't ask him, but
it's all right.
His uncle worked for Bill Elliott.
No kidding.
Yeah, I saw it. That's crazy. So his mom's a huge NASCAR fan. So if she is listening, shout out to you.
Yeah, that's an even better connection, honestly. So, no, I think that fits us well. Can't thank them enough. But we'll get right into this, Spence. So, episode 44, I want to start out. So, we do these dedications every episode just to let y'all know. And I always try to just think, immediately what do I think of when I think the number? Sometimes there's better people. There's some sexier options, if you will. But when I think of 44, I think of this car on the screen right here. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, this is Kyle Petty's Hot Wheels car. Have you ever seen that? You've probably seen a picture.
I've seen this car. I've never seen this car race, but this is a beautiful car.
Beautiful scheme.
Beautiful car.
So blue Hot Wheels, red wheels. So growing up, obviously, I had like 2 or 3 of these little Hot Wheels cars that looked like this, and then I had it was like a little plastic case, and it had this car on the front because obviously it was made by Hot Wheels, and you opened it up, and it had individual slots for the cars, and then it had like a carrying case, so I would carry my cars around as I was little.
Oh yeah.
And then I guess at some point my mom decided I outgrew cars, like toy cars. Not true. I'll play with them tomorrow.
Yeah, you will.
But anyway, I guess she decided that.
we have to cut out all the times that you're.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess she decided that I was too old for them, and so like I said, it was a little plastic carrying case. It had these slots in it that fit a little 164 perfect.
Yeah, folded open.
Yeah. So she took
had a little wheel thing on it.
It was not a wheel thing, just like a little briefcase.
Oh, mine had wheels.
Oh, sure, can't have money.
I know it's hard.
But anyway, so my point being, it was blue. It had Kyle Petty's car on the front. She took it from me at some point and started storing her fingernail polish in it. So then when she would go out and paint her fingernails, she'd open it up and there'd be like a million fingernail polishes in there.
Yeah.
So I guess that was the day I learned that I was too old for cars.
There you go.
But you ain't gonna stop me.
No. We can't stop you from doing anything.
That's right. But I'd be remiss if I didn't talk a little bit about Kyle Petty. I cannot stress enough
how much you love him.
How much I hate this guy.
I
hate this guy. Has been through a lot in his life. I'll give him that. So I don't want to be too hard on him. Does do a lot for charity. But I'll tell you, June 2nd, 1960, Rattleman, North Carolina, I believe. But it's got to be some, I mean, definitely lived in Level Cross. We just talked about Richard Petty last week.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But late 90s is when this car was ran. It was 97, 98, maybe just 97, 98. But, you know, he ran for his dad for a little while, and he would always sell these fits and be like, I don't want to run for my dad. And then he'd go run somewhere else, and then he'd come back. And this venture here, he started his own team. Didn't go very well, but, you know, he was all like, oh, I'll just do my own thing, Dad. And then that was pretty much terrible, so then he just went back to his dad's team. I'm biased if you can't tell.
No.
But a grand total. Are you ready for his career stats? I'll give you his career stats.
Yeah, hit me with them.
8 wins.
Okay.
Cup wins. That's it.
I mean, that's solid.
Solid.
That's solid mediocre performances,
solid
right?
mediocre performance. I'm going to keep this one short this week. So I want to end on one quote.
Kyle Petty quote?
Kyle Petty quote from back in the day. I'm not going to bring up anything.
I was about to say, dude, if you start bringing up stuff he says now.
No, I mean, the stuff he says now is ridiculous. I think he is, he tries to be the Stephen A. Smith of NASCAR with no credibility. And I feel like Stephen A.'s been at it long enough. He can say ridiculous things, but he can kind of still back stuff.
He backs up a lot of his stuff.
Of it. But Kyle Petty, to me, is just like, what? I feel like people haven't been talking about me for about 2 weeks. What can I say?
Yeah.
That people will talk about. That's how I feel about Kyle Petty. So, if you could think of one track that exemplifies how good a race car driver is, what would that track be?
Darlington.
God, you're so smart.
Yeah.
All right, so here is a quote
I can't
from Kyle Petty.
I can't wait.
After wrecking at Darlington. All right. So, he wrecked at Darlington in 1995. They interview him afterwards. You know what happened? What do you think? And he says, I think they ought to fill this place up with water to the outside retaining wall, dump bass in it, and have pro bass tournaments in it, and sell seats in them grandstands right there. As bad as this place is, you could stock 1 million fish in there, and nobody would even catch one. It's a driver's track, Kyle.
Yeah.
Driver. Color me shocked you don't like it. That's all I got to say about Kyle Petty.
There you go.
We don't have enough time.
Number 44.
Iconic. That's such a cool car.
It is.
Such a great scheme. Obviously, Hot Wheels branded it, did a lot with it. It's a crying shame it had to be Kyle Petty. That's all I have to say.
I would agree.
I feel like I did well there. Man, you don't know how many rants I had
queued up.
But I ain't going to do it.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. Let me throw my driver up there. I guarantee this is just so familiar to everybody. Yeah.
We've been on a little bit of a petty streak here past 2
We
weeks.
have been. I mean, this is kind of their territory, though, for being honest.
You get to the obscure number.
Yeah, they have them all.
Yeah.
But my driver this week, Brian Scott. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know much about 44. When you asked me before the show, I was like, AJ is the only one that I've really known to run it.
Great thought there, though.
Yeah,
I was impressed with you knowing that.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do AJ for the 17th time on the show.
I mean, we go so far in on AJ. I just feel like we got to give it a rest sometimes.
We do.
But great guy.
Great guy. Another great guy.
Ooh,
Brian Scott.
Yeah. Tell me
Brian
about
Scott.
It. Convince me.
Brian Joseph Scott, born in 1988, out of Boise, Idaho. Not a lot of I mean, you don't
I don't think any.
Never. Okay. When I was reading, he was like one of the first guys to go to the Daytona 500 from Idaho.
I thought you were going to say to live in Idaho.
No. No. He's actually the mayor of Boise.
Yeah.
No. So he, kind of the one thing I read about on his fame kind of leading up is he did do some dirt track stuff, finished second in a 360.
Sprint car?
Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. I did not know that. He's a sprint car guy?
I know he raced in one race, apparently against elite drivers, and finished second in that race. And that kind of got his name on the talking block.
Okay.
Yeah.
All respect. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Keep Brian Scott's name
out your mouth.
Yeah. Okay. But in 2008, he went full time in trucks. Didn't do anything crazy. 2009, he went. Did I write it down? Hold on. In 2008, he wanted to go. I guess I didn't write it down. But in 2008, he went truck racing, and then the next year in 2009, they bought him an Xfinity ride.
As you do.
As you do.
Yeah.
If you don't know, Brian Scott, his parents, his family own Albertsons, or did own Albertsons. I don't know who owns
grocery
it.
store.
The grocery store chain that Kroger tried to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
For boatloads of money.
Yeah.
And the government shut it down.
Yeah. I remember you bringing that up. It's random.
Yeah.
But I remember, were we on a trip?
Yeah, we were on a trip.
We were on a
that
trip.
was a crazy trip.
You just kept bringing that up.
Yeah. Do you know Kroger's going to buy Albertsons?
So that's so inside joke. I'm sorry, but yeah.
But they were going to buy
Spencer was obsessed with this story.
That's not the only thing I was obsessed with that weekend, but yes, that was one of the things I was obsessed with. So, 2009, his daddy buys him his daddy buys him an Xfinity ride, and he actually doesn't do bad.
Okay.
Got a win
Good for him.
at Dover and finished
at Dover.
Yeah, that's what it said.
I don't know anything about Brian Scott.
Yeah,
I really don't.
You're
No.
blown away.
I'm blown away.
I love this.
Dover's a legit track.
It is a legit track. But when you own a grocery store chain, you can pay to play.
Yeah.
But he finished 7th that year in
What?
Xfinity. Yeah.
Who was he driving for? Well, they bought the team.
They bought the team. Yeah.
Was this H. Scott, or was it? Am I thinking of something different?
Oh, I'm not sure. Let me pull it up just a minute.
I could be mixing up two different Scotts, to be honest.
There's a bunch of Scotts.
Yeah. Don't even look it up.
You sure?
I'm
okay.
100% positive I'm taking us into a rabbit hole.
Okay. So after that, 2009, 2010 went. Wait, hold on. This is maybe where he bought the Xfinity team. In 2010, I know he did buy an Xfinity team. Now you got me second guessing.
No, I screwed it up. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I just want you to keep blowing my mind with Brian Scott fags.
I mean, that's what I did.
I didn't know this dude won a go-kart race, much less an Xfinity race at Dover. Have I been wrong about this guy my whole life?
I think
Should this guy be in Cup?
This guy should probably be in Cup.
Is this who's taking Alex Bowman's ride?
No. What did I know he had a win. The win was in the Truck Series. I'm so sorry. Did I say that? I said Xfinity, didn't I?
You said Xfinity, yeah.
So sorry.
I mean, Dover's Dover.
Dover's Dover.
That's crazy.
In a truck, 2009, and that was for Express Motorsports.
Okay.
Won that, finished 7th that year. And then in 2009, he ran full-time, finished 7th in the Truck Series, moved to Xfinity in 2010. This is when they bought the team, I do believe, the Xfinity team in 2010. Let me scroll up here just to make sure.
So like, this team isn't good enough. We're just going to take over.
I mean, they were the Albertsons was a sponsor of the truck.
Wild.
Too. Yeah.
Wild.
Crazy. No, he purchased Express Motorsports. So that was his truck.
Okay.
So he did get it. So they purchased that truck. Is what they did. They purchased Express Motorsports for who he raced for 3 years.
It's wild.
Crazy wild. 2009. So they only had a truck team. They didn't buy an Xfinity team. 2009 ran a couple races in Xfinity. 2010 went full time Xfinity. Nothing crazy. Had a couple top 10s. One top 5. Finished 14th in points, which I kind of thought was impressive.
It's
honestly.
Not bad.
Then gets a ride in 2011 with Joe Gibbs Racing. Did you know this?
No.
Yeah.
Had to have bought it.
No. Joe Gibbs? Oh, yeah, I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying he bought the sponsorship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually didn't do bad. Raced there 11 and 12, finished 8th and 9th in points. Okay. So solid
as you
performance.
should.
As you should at Joe Gibbs
Good
Racing.
for him, though.
Good for him. You still have to do it.
Yeah.
You still have to do it.
Yeah.
2013 in Xfinity, he moves to RCR, where he finishes 7th in 2013, 4th in 2014, and 8th in 2015. So solid run in Xfinity there.
Golly.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
In the RCR number 2 car. He made his Cup Series debut in 2013, doing absolutely nothing, as you would expect for RCR in the number 33. You remember us talking about that. 2015, he ran a couple races in the Cup Series with Premier Motorsports and Richard Childers again. And then in 2016, what gets us to the number 44 of Richard Petty Motorsports, Brian Scott ran a full Cup Series that year, and his only good finish was Talladega. He finished second. He was one spot away from winning.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
it's a terrible team too. So it's like it's hard to crap on him too much.
Yeah. So that was his kind of final year of racing full time. After that, he raced 2 more Xfinity races in 2017, just one-offs. One in Iowa and one at Kentucky, where he finished top 5 at Iowa and top 10 at Kentucky for RCR. Just jumping back in the car. Off the couch. Yeah.
Dude, this guy is so much better than I'd ever imagined.
He's not bad.
He's not bad.
So to round out, Brian Scott, he has raced over 53 Cup Series races, 0 wins, 1 top 10, 1 pole. In the Xfinity Series, about 200 races, 79 top 10s, 5 poles, and the Craftsman Truck Series, he has 2 wins.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I had no idea.
Yeah. So solid performance by our man, Brian Scott, Mr. Albertson.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm not saying he's amazing, but I thought he was absolute dog shit.
No, he's, as far as like getting out of daddy's pocket,
he did
not
something.
bad. He did something with it. He's
wow.
trying to make it of himself. So,
God,
shout out to him.
I wonder what he's doing now.
I don't know. You think we could get him on?
Yeah, probably. I bet he's not busy.
I bet you he's not.
I wonder if he's still living in Idaho.
I don't know.
Because why would you?
Why would you? Dude, maybe he's a potato farmer. Maybe he sells potatoes to Albertsons. I
feel like he doesn't have to work, to be honest.
Dude, look at this statue. This is a hard-working man.
I'm not saying he didn't work hard.
Gets up every day at the butt-ass cracking on to go work.
Bag groceries?
Yeah.
Maybe. We don't know the guy.
We don't know the guy.
All right. Man, I'm mind blown.
There you go.
Spencer. I should have done more research on this guy because I've always had a different opinion of him. But all right, episode 44, the Kyle Petty, Brian Scott edition. I think this perfectly segues into our overview, which is pay to play.
Pay to play.
So I want to start off pay to play by just saying a lot of like nepotism drivers get into this category.
Yeah.
Just because people, I mean, it's really easy to lump them in. But I mean, you take someone like a Chase Elliott and you'll put him in the same category as a pay to play guy.
Yep.
Not exactly the same. So when we talk about pay to play, in recent years, and really, let me back up even further and say it takes money to go racing, regardless,
yes,
right?
It does.
So, take all this. It's not sour grapes from us, but there's a difference between just having enough money to get started and then just buying rides, right? So what we're talking about today is buying rides. So when we get into like the Truck Series, the Xfinity Series, you have a lot of people that they're not Rick Hendrick, they're not Roger Penske, they own a team. And the further time goes on, they have these decisions to make. It costs X amount of money to run. You're never going to make money really racing at all.
Especially in these lower series.
They say the best way to make a small fortune in racing is to start with a big fortune.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's the only way to do it. I mean, it's an expensive sport. It's an expensive hobby. You have to love to do it. So as these teams go on, they have decisions to make. All right, it costs X amount of money to go race. We want to race. Mm-hmm. We love racing. We can hire somebody based off merit and hope it works out.
Yeah.
Right? And just barely scrape by, really prop somebody up.
And then lose them.
And then lose them. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect. So what are we doing? Mm-hmm. Or we can get somebody that comes in and says, I will write a check for what this costs. You know for sure you're not going to go bankrupt.
Yep.
And what are you going to do? You're going to be at the track every weekend just like you want to be. Mm-hmm. So as costs have risen, the whole NASCAR model has changed in a way just because we have more technology. Everything goes up. We see more of this pay to play. So you look at a driver like Brandon Jones, Chandler Smith, Sam Mayer. You can even actually lump someone like Noah Gragson in there at the beginning.
I believe that.
You know, just so we want to go racing. We've spent all this money in the lower series. It's time for us to take that next step. You go approach teams, and now teams are trying to say, man, we would love to have you. How much money can you bring? Right? Mm-hmm. We're not going to do this for free.
Yeah.
It's not what it used to be. We can't just go build a car in a garage and send you on the way. Time, pay to play, right? So you pay to play. So basically that's kind of the difference there between getting a ride because of your last name or just connections. You're stroking a check because you have some kind of money behind you. First off, just your thoughts on that. Who is to blame? Is that the NASCAR? Is that the NASCAR system? Is that the teams? Like, just before we get into too much, where do you stand on that?
It's definitely the system involved in it that I think that's undisputable. You have to run things like a business, and if we want things to be what's the word I'm looking for? Meritocracy or no.
I have a plant degree. I don't know, buddy.
Hold on. God, I was about to sound so smart.
I know. You're on the cusp, dude. Yeah. You're on the cusp.
Whatever. Let me explain what I mean. You want the best of the best to be where they're at. So you don't want anyone to pay to play.
Yeah.
Meritocracy.
On merit.
Yes, on merit.
Yeah.
I think it's called a meritocracy. I think it's what they call that.
I think that's something different. But go ahead. You're on a roll. Keep going.
Okay. So you want the best people in the sport at all times. You want them to work up the ranks, whatever that is. If it's ARCA, Cars Tour, whatever. You want them to have some kind of background and be the best at that to get into your ride. Well, if you can't make any money, and it doesn't matter if you win every single race in Xfinity, and your team is still not making money, then why in the world do you care if you win or lose?
Right.
So they've set up this system to where, and we've talked about it before, where these pay-to-play guys can easily come in because now it's just a filler league. We're running laps. We're running laps. And to me, the only way to get out of this system is I think a lot of these people should start investing in iRacing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that NASCAR personally, and I'm not fully in on exactly all. I know they have their own E-Series on, but ramping that up to just get your average Joes to get into this, and then you'll have these teams develop. If you're giving away, I know they have a scholarship one where you can, if you're in college, you can race for them. But to me, we got to get away, and I don't want to get rid. There's something to actually running laps in a real car. You know what I mean? I'm not taking any way away from that. But maybe if we can what I'm trying to say is maybe somehow we can move this training period to kind of get rid of the pay-to-play guys, move everything over to everybody kind of comes out of this iRacing experience thing. And so if you have built up this iRacing thing and you have top-level talent and we can see where it's paid off because we've invested in it, we've pulled guys out of here that are really good and we've put them in our stuff, or not just put them in your stuff, but gave them a role in something and see where their knowledge is really good. Maybe it's in just running sim laps for Tyler Reddick. He did that shout out that one time to that iRacing guy. But just stuff like that to where we've invested to it. And so that maybe the cost structure can kind of change for the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series a little bit to ease the pressure off of these teams, and so maybe they can do something different to make a little bit more money, and then bring that league back to, hey, when you win an Xfinity Series championship, it may mean something now.
Yeah. Well, I think
does that make any sense?
No, it does.
Okay.
But I think you hit the nail on the head to the biggest issue of changing the cost structure.
Yeah.
I think all these teams would love to hire the most talented people.
Yeah.
But the cost structure doesn't play out that way. So you look at someone like a Junior Motorsports, right? And as much as people love Dale Jr., they're like, oh man, he gets it. Yeah, that team is ran as a pay to play.
Yes.
You look at Brandon Jones.
I think it's every Xfinity team.
It really is.
I mean it's definitely every Truck Series guy. I mean, 100%.
Yeah, except for like the Thor Sport guys, they're pretty much, they love racing. They'll lose money. They don't care. But, you look at the guys that came through Junior, Brandon Jones, Michael Annett, Sam Mayer, guys like that. The one time we had Junior had to go out on a limb and potentially lose money was putting Josh Berry in a car. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. And that was hard. And, I mean, a lot of that was Chevy sponsorship. A lot of that was, like, Dale Jr.'s connections of, like, please, you have my word. Please sponsor this guy. And they did because he's Dale Jr., right? Yeah. And that was a full, like, you're also kind of the behind the scenes of it that we never know is you hire 3 pay drivers that cut a check, and then you take some of that money and run another car. Mm-hmm. So that stuff's happening too. And that's how you get a Josh Berry, right? That's how hard it is to get, and then he starts winning, then he gets his own sponsorships, right? And then he makes his own name, and now he just won 2 weeks ago. Exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's how hard it is to do that. So
it's such a risk because we know how competitive it is too. There's not as many Josh Berrys as you think.
No.
There's just not.
But to the point it's gotten to now, in my opinion, and I'll kind of go into this in my next point too, but you look at the Xfinity Series, there's so much pay to play that you can throw a Josh Berry in there, who's obviously very talented, but look at what he did right off the bat. Yeah. That field is weak.
It is.
Weak.
Yeah, it's the same thing that we've talked about.
Kyle Larson had a 16, and granted it's Kyle Larson, right? But not everybody thinks Kyle Larson is as generational of a talent as I do, right? Mm-hmm. They just think he's a Cup driver, okay? If you think he's just a Cup driver, there's no reason he should go into the Xfinity field, lead by 16 seconds, and lap up to 6th place. Yeah. We've got problems, okay? We've got problems.
It's the same reason Eric Almirola can get off of his couch.
Yes, and no wax ass.
Yeah, he's a washed-up Cup racer, and the only dude that he's raced this year was Alex Bowman, and he wrecked him to win it. Yeah. So, it's like...
That should tell you, right? And I've made that point so many times. It's like this pay-to-play has just lowered the talent pool.
Exactly.
That Eric Almirola. Yeah. Eric Almirola. Mm-hmm. Decent. I mean, he's not bad, right?
4 Cup Series wins, maybe?
I think like 3.
3? Okay.
Yeah, I think 2 super speedways and Loudon.
In Loudon. Okay, that's what, yeah.
But, like, good enough.
But
shouldn't be going in there. I mean, every time this guy gets in an Xfinity car, he's going to win. Yes. Unless something crazy happens.
Oh, 100%.
So.
That's how good. He is, dude. He's just a generational talent.
And he's not. And he's not. You know what I mean? It's it's absolutely crazy.
So bad.
So that's where pay-to-play has got us. Where I think there's a little bit of saving grace to this is we see a lot of these pay-to-play guys never get the chance to go to Cup, right? No. I don't, and I could be wrong, but I was thinking about it all day today. I don't really know any pay-to-play in Cup. Is there nepotism and connections?
100%.
For sure. But I can't think of any, like currently, I know we've had pay to play in Cup. Currently, I don't know who we would have that's paying to play. And I could be completely wrong, but
nothing is coming to the top of my head. I mean,
you could think like maybe a Daniel Suarez is still bringing a lot of Slim Carlos sponsorship in. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's Cup, and you cannot save yourself at a key partner team, as we're about to see. I mean, I will fully. Not even going out on a limb, I think Daniel Suarez's last year at Trackhouse is this year. Mm-hmm. Unless he goes on a tear. Yeah. Right? Like you said the other week, if he wins a race or two, I'd have egg in my face. It'd be hard to get rid of him. There's really no one paying their way in Cup. So you see someone like a Brandon Jones, a Chandler Smith, that just bounce around to Xfinity teams, right?
Yes.
They pay for a ride in Xfinity. They get decent results, as they should, because they're buying top rides. But they're like, I'm not making it to the next level. I got to switch teams.
Yeah.
I got to switch teams because they're not giving me good enough stuff. They switch teams. Brandon Jones has went from JGR, JRM, back to JGR.
Yeah.
You're not going to Cup, buddy.
No.
You're not. And maybe he doesn't have those aspirations, but...
I mean, I think if you're racing around in the Xfinity, that should be your aspirations, though.
It should be. It should be.
Like,
but at the end of the day, this is all that kid's ever done. So
I know, but I mean,
you just kind of chill in Xfinity, and if you don't have any struggles, your parents will keep sending the checks. I mean,
I guess. I mean, that's the other thing is like if the
but
well never runs.
But where do we pull from?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If the well runs dry, I mean, where has this gotten you at any point?
And then where do our Cup teams pull guys from?
Exactly. Like to me, it's more. To me, I don't think Cup teams ever really look at Xfinity when they find somebody. You know, like they're always. I feel like if Ricky Thornton Jr. really wanted to drive a Cup car, he could. You know what I mean? Like if he would have to do some other things. Like I'm not saying it'd be that simple, but I feel like he would get in an Xfinity car and wax that field.
I think he could.
I mean, you give him a couple races.
Yeah.
It easily could win the championship if you gave him 2 years.
Yeah,
I think out of those
so
2 years.
That field's so weak.
Exactly. And I think he's just one of those top tier talent guys that he can kind of drive anything.
Yeah.
So, I guess my point is when somehow we've got to get the Cup teams to reinvest in the lower series to get rid of the pay-to-play guys.
Yep.
Somehow. So we can build this back up.
That goes really good into my next point to where, and I could be crazy, right? But I think the tides are changing. So you see a Josh Berry, right? And then you look at all of your top Cup guys, none of them ever really paid to play.
No, they were good.
Right.
They were good.
And I think we're finally like making this change, right? NASCAR's on the upswing, just like Breakhard told us the other week.
Yeah.
So you look at someone like a Corey Heim, right? That's a Toyota guy. He's not cutting a check, right? They won him.
Yep.
Okay.
He's
and
development driver.
Toyota, now granted, he's not paying to play. Toyota said, we want this guy. Completely different. To the point to where he gets signed a developmental deal for 2311. And I'm telling you, pay to play, Riley Herbst.
Yeah,
that's our Cup guy.
That's our Cup guy.
That's our Cup guy.
Yeah.
And
how do we forget him?
Yeah, how did we forget him? And I think someone like a Riley Herbst is paying to play, and their 2311's biding their time, right? And then we get Corey Heim.
Yeah.
Right? Let's take this kid's money, build a team, get out all our ducks in a row.
Yeah.
And then when we want to put somebody in there that can win a race, we have them.
Yeah.
You look at Hendrick, what they're doing with Corey Day, our 410 sprint car guy, development program. He's not stroking a check.
No.
He's not stroking a check. And then after what Josh Berry just did, I think we're going to continue to see this change.
What do we think?
Am I crazy, or does it seem like the tides are changing?
No, I do. It's going to take a guy like Denny to do it. And we've talked about it before. It just sucks that he had to put Riley Herbst in that car.
And we're assuming that's what happened, and I don't know what else it could be.
I mean,
there's nothing Riley Herbst has done.
Yeah.
There's nothing Riley Herbst has done to show you that he is worthy of a top Cup ride.
No.
But he's sitting in a top Cup ride.
Exactly. So, no, it's one of those things. It takes time, so long to get these changes made, and it's going to take a Denny, it's going to take a Justin Marks, it's going to take a Brad Kay, and to me, all these are guys young enough in there. They're not a Hendrick, they're not a JGR, but they have enough pull. Sorry, I forgot Jimmy at Legacy. Same type of thing of where. If these younger type, because Rick Hendrick's not going to be around forever. Like, he's just not.
No.
And we don't know. I mean, he's going to pass that team on, of course, and it'll still be Hendrick Motorsports. But we know what happens when kids take over things.
Yeah.
Or the next person takes over
things. It'll be Jeff
things.
Gordon.
So sorry, you're right. Never mind.
Yeah.
That won't skip a beat.
Fine, yeah.
That one's fine.
You look at a Penske, I don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly. You look at it, whatever it is, but most of these bigger hierarchy teams will probably skip a beat, and this is exactly when I think Denny, Jimmy Johnson, Brad Kay, Justin Marks, all these just, again, still really good teams, but need to invest in getting the cup level talent already there. If you can have them in your back pocket. Same thing that we kind of talked about with Zane Smith, where Justin Marks had to let him go. Like, he knows that he's going to be good.
Yeah.
But you can't have 12. You can't have 53. There's 53 man rosters,
Yeah.
in the NFL. So you can't have 54 on there.
You got to cut good guys sometimes.
Exactly.
And I mean, I think that's the same way. And I want to do an overview. We might do it next week on development drivers, just to kind of segue into this. But I think, like you said, it's going to take those kind of guys. The ties have to change, and then I feel like every overview ties into this. If this lawsuit plays out, and the team,
knows?
it's all about NASCAR setting everybody up for success, right? And you're still going to have pay-to-play guys. Always. It's racing. Pay-to-play has been around forever.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever, guys, and I know you've heard of this, but Rackley Roofing, that's like literally I could call them right now, and they'd be like, write me a check for $75,000, we'll get you in a car.
Yeah.
Like,
because they're trying to build and they just love racing.
Exactly. So if you have the money, you can race in anything you want to race in.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But maybe the tides are turning.
I hope
so too. I think we're seeing it. I really do.
Because I think it'd get people. If you can, it's like the same thing that we've developed with college football to the NFL. We went to UT. We love watching guys that went to our college excel in the pros. It looks good on our college, right? Well, if they could have just skipped that and went straight to the pros, we'd have no interest or investment in them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what it kind of feels like we've done with the trucks and Xfinity sometimes, is we'll just put anyone in there, no matter how good they are or not, and if you suck, you suck, and if you good, okay, you're beating other people that suck, So it's like we got to get somehow the competition level back up to where we can get fans excited about not watching a Wreckfest on Friday night and being like, dude, I remember watching Lane Riggs tear it up with Grant Enfinger, and now he's got a good, just example,
No, and now they're door-to-door at Darlington on Sunday.
Exactly. And now, but you've got fans more invested on these, because I know oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine what the watch rate is on a truck series race.
Dude, I don't know. I think it's me and you.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. And sometimes I just watch the highlights on YouTube. That's how bad it is sometimes. So if somehow you can reinvest into, that's why I think sorry, and I'll quit after this.
No, you're good.
But that's why I think the iRacing thing is such a thing, with how big gaming is right now, how easy it is to stream things on Twitch. Carson Hocevar has an amazing Twitch channel. I don't know if you've ever watched it.
I haven't.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, I've seen clips of it.
Exactly.
Where he's hilarious.
Yeah. So he has a good time, and if we can get not just that, but NASCAR to invest more money in this side of stuff to raise up talent. Because to me, I think there's always diamonds in the rough everywhere. But motorsports is such a weird sport.
It is.
To where you can't just buy a helmet and pads and go play football for a couple years and see if you're good. I mean,
there's no scouts out there to...
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you're not running drills or anything. You have to somehow put people behind the wheel, and I think the easiest way to put people behind the wheel is to get them a rig for $800.
That's fair enough.
And I think if the more people that race, the more people that will be better at it, and it'll get rid of...
You got a bigger pool.
Exactly. Yeah. You'll get rid of this niche group of guys that are just paying to play.
Yeah.
So that's
kind
of
dad owns a company or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's a good way. I think that's good. You got anything else?
No, that's it, man. I'll get off my soapbox.
No, I like it. That's what it's all about. I mean, it's a unfortunate reality of racing, but it's something that needs to be talked about too.
Yes, it does. It does.
All right, Homestead Recap.
Yeah, man.
Race rating, what'd you give it?
9.5.
9.5.
I mean, we've been all over the place.
I know. I gave it a 9.7.
Yes. Yes. I would have gave it a 9.5 if Blaney. I would have gave it a 10 out of 10 if Blaney didn't grenade his engine.
Right. Yeah. No, I loved stage 1 and 2 when Denny and Larson were on a little bit different strategy.
Yes.
And then, they were coming through the field at the end. So that was super cool. Towards the end, I thought, Larson was in I don't know why I thought this because I watched all 3 races because he should have swept.
He should have.
Yeah. And then we had a pay-to-play driver screwed him out of the Xfinity race.
Did.
And a pay-to-play driver wreck.
Yep.
And caused this caution when he had a 16-second lead. Nonetheless.
That reference that Sanders was talking about earlier, that happened on Saturday.
Yeah. It's on Saturday.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. But won the truck race. I don't know if you ever went back and watched highlights of that.
I did.
Oh, my God, dude.
Yeah.
I watched it live, and I was like, this is, so I was in the living room watching
It's
it.
like taking candy from a baby.
No, dude, it wasn't. So he didn't run the top at all.
No way.
Because those are steel body trucks. And they talked about it at I didn't even realize that. I knew that, but I didn't think about it. So the whole race, he's like kind of running a little off the wall. He's doing pretty good. He's leading some, then he gets back. I'm like, rip the fence, dude.
Yeah.
Rip it. And he just wouldn't. And then on a restart, he got behind Lane Riggs and he stuffed it on Lane, kind of trying to do his typical Kyle Larson, you better lift.
Yeah.
And Lane just kind of stayed in it, and Larson spun himself.
Oh, I saw that highlight.
With 40 to go.
Mm-hmm.
So
he had
he
to start in the back. And
started 25th.
Yeah.
And I turned the TV off in the living room, and I was like, yep, he just Larsoned himself. And I'm just pissed because I'm like, of course, I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
And I ended up turning it on in the bedroom, and we're watching Corey Haim and Lane Riggs, and Ross Chastain was up there too.
Yeah, Ross.
He had a really good short run truck, and they're just racing. Every time that ticker goes by, it's 17th. Now Larson's 15th, and I'm like, there's no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
And then they start showing him, they got the dual screen going,
Uh-huh.
and he's ripping the top, and I'm like, oh my God, no. And Corey Haim's truck kept shutting off. If that wouldn't have happened, I think Corey Haim
would have won.
Yeah, dude, that truck's so fast.
Yeah.
It's so fast. But ripped the top in 30 something laps from 22nd or 25th all the way to the lead. It was nuts.
Did he run? He ran the Hendricks game.
He did all 3 races.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what did Rajah run?
A Hendricks scheme.
So there were 2 Hendricks cars.
There was 3 trucks that had the Hendricks scheme.
Oh my God!
It was Corey Day, Raja, and Kyle Larson. The only difference, obviously, the number.
Yeah.
And then the number on top, there one was white, one was yellow, one was orange.
Whoa!
There's 3 Hendrick trucks out there.
That's insane.
It was stupid.
Dude.
I'm like,
that's so
just
dumb.
change one of them.
I know.
Or just invert the colors.
Exactly. Make one a
red,
a black one.
Yeah,
Dude,
that
a black
too, I know.
one looks sweet. With
It would
white.
look sweet. Yeah.
I don't know why they're married to that. The blue is a good looking color.
Yeah.
I don't want to downfall that, but dude,
It was Ricky Hendrick's old scheme. That's why they're married.
Is that why it is?
Yeah, that's why they're married to it.
God.
But anyway, so he did that. Obviously, Xfinity, we know what happened.
Yeah.
BS. So anyway, my whole point being the Cup race, he was in 4th place. It was 5-6 seconds. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, it's Cup. It's harder. Dude, he just starts just rips the wall again. Does it?
He's so good at it.
He's so good.
I don't understand how not only he's so good at ripping the wall, but also gets into it at the same time, but does it in a way to where he doesn't do enough damage to his vehicle.
Yeah, it's weird.
It is so weird.
They showed a picture of his right side after the race. He tore a hole in that carbon body.
Yeah.
Because he just kept laying it on the wall.
So
that was nuts. We can go on and on. I personally can go on and on for days about Kyle Larson, but not too surprising.
No, not really. I mean, it was him or Blaney, and dude, Blaney had a fast freaking machine.
He did. That's a race I would have loved to see.
Yes, really. If we can get Blaney's team from stopping cheating, whatever they're doing.
They're doing something.
They're blowing up some engines. And
wouldn't you think they'd put the experimental engines in the 21, not the?
Maybe 12. They are, and just Josh Berry's not driving them as hard as.
Maybe Blaney's just dumping the clutch too hard and over revving. I don't know.
He could be.
Maybe. At what point is it Ryan Blaney's fault?
It already is. It already is. But yeah, I know. I think definitely that would have been a race. Kyle Larson, of course, was probably the best car besides him. Blaney did have.
He had a really good car.
He had a really good car. Really surprised about how bad Tyler Reddick and Seabell were.
I was too. Yeah,
very disappointed.
Seabell spun.
Yeah,
never came back. But yeah, Reddick never got up there.
He was up there a couple times with how the green lap stops worked, and of course just having good stops on pit road, but it felt like he could never maintain. And it wasn't like, oh, he's got a short run car, so he drives up there and then everyone starts gaining on him. It was like he would start losing positions off the rip.
Yeah.
Straight from the restart. He would restart 5th, and then 2 laps later he'd be in 9th, and you're like, what is going on? And it wouldn't be like, oh, they're all short run cars. He would never just come back.
Yeah, he
never came back. So I was disappointed in what 2311 brought to the track for him, because that is a track that plays for him well.
It should.
And if you can have that would make for a great race if you could have Tyler Reddick firing on all cylinders, Kyle Larson firing on all cylinders, and Ryan Blaney firing on all cylinders. I mean, because then it would be electric, because then you're going 3 wide everywhere, and then Willie B's going to sneak up and win that, dude.
For sure,
I mean, that's just
and then we'd all be sad.
And then we would be sad, but that's what would happen. And Willie B would love that more. So.
No, I agree. I got a question for you. Can you ask anything more from the 48 or 23 there at the end?
No.
I think they did all they could.
The 48, it sucked for the 48 because he would have got past anyway, but it was less dramatic because he made a mistake and hit the wall. That's what killed me the most.
But he had to run that line.
He had to run run that line.
Because the 5's finding speed there.
Yeah.
So that's the only place you can find speed. Mm-hmm. So you're either going to fence it and finish second, or you're going to keep doing what you're doing and finish second.
Exactly.
So
he goes up there, and I just think it would have made it a little bit more difficult if he was better at air blocking or running that line consistently.
Yeah.
Just a little bit better. And it may have been his car. His car may not like that line. He didn't really run that line much.
Yeah, it's true.
But no, the 23, man, had a rocket ship. And that's what's crazy is the 45 didn't.
I know. That's what's weird. You would think it'd be completely opposite.
Yes. Or if you think if Bubba has a good car, then he's finishing second to Tyler Reddick. Yes. That's what you would think.
You would think.
And the whatever it is Reddick was not good. But,
yeah, something weird going on there.
Yeah, but you can't ask any more of those guys. They kept it extremely clean. Bowman getting into the wall there, and even Bowman passing Bubba was super smooth. He worked him a little bit and then just went around him, and I loved how passing was hard but doable. Like we hadn't seen that. I feel like in a long. We're finally getting back to where tires matter, and you're like, oh my gosh, every time. If we run 8 laps, we have to pit. We have to. Like, that was like a Gen 6 thing. Like, I remember that all the time, where half the races, it felt like, were like, do we have enough sets of tires to get to the end of this? And it's never been a talking point. And here we are, like the past couple of races, we're talking about things like that because these things are starting to matter again. So I'm loving it. 48 and 23 couldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
Go back to the 8 question.
No, I agree. And you kind of answered my last question I had was how can we recreate this type of racing? Like you said, it's the tires.
It's the tires.
It's the tracks, all that. One question I have for you that I didn't put on here. So Austin Dillon had a pretty decent day.
He did.
Kyle Busch was nowhere to be found.
I know.
At what point do we stop blaming this on RCR?
Oh!
And I hate to say that. I'm a Kyle Busch fan, but, dude,
I don't think we can.
If Austin Dillon's finishing 15 positions better than Kyle Busch, can we blame it on Kyle Busch's car?
Yeah, no, but, I mean, I don't think... Okay, hold on. Kyle Busch has already almost won a race. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, but he was lost at this race.
He was lost at this race.
Driver's track.
A driver's track.
And Austin Dillon is outrunning you by that? I don't know. I'm not. We don't have to get into a full discussion. I'm just saying.
No, we don't. But
I've always been on like RCR needs to give him a good car. Like they're squandering having a champion there, and then Austin Dillon's running like top 10 most of the day, and Kyle Busch has no one behind him.
Did he mail it in, though? Did he mail it in?
I don't know. Usually when he mails it in, he's on the radio going berserk, and he wasn't doing that either.
That's true.
Maybe something to think on. Let's just keep that nugget in the back of your head because it's very weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, standouts. So I think we talked about everybody that stood out, so we'll go ahead and get into our head-to-heads. SVG Suarez. SVG, just a rough day.
Yeah.
Just a rough day. Not too much.
And we expect this from these mile and a halves. We completely, especially this one. He's never ripped the wall like that. He doesn't know what he's doing. So and Suarez should win this one. So it's like one of those things. I mean, we expected this one to maybe get a little hairy, and then towards the end of the year, maybe SVG finds something in these ovals finally.
Yeah, that's what he did in Xfinity. Every time he went to those tracks for a second time,
he got
night
better.
and day.
Yes.
Night and day. Cindric Berry, so close one here.
Yeah.
Close one here, but Berry got him. So that's really important to keep an eye on.
Yeah, Colby.
Yeah,
Pay
that's right. Pay
Colby.
attention. This is probably gonna be the best one, I think. Cindric Berry.
I know.
Hocevar Gibbs. Hocevar had this in the bag.
Yeah.
And then they said it was a alternator or battery problem, but he never came back out on the track.
He never did.
So it had to have been deeper.
And then Kyle Busch had a problem too. Didn't he?
No, he just showed up and was terrible.
Okay,
I'm telling you, dude, it was bad.
I thought he went to the garage.
Kyle Busch?
Yeah.
Hocevar did.
Hocevar did. Maybe that's
If Kyle Busch did, I'd missed it.
Okay.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but I don't think he did.
What was last week? What was the week before?
Vegas. His wheel fell off, and he had to go to the garage.
And he did go to the garage. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's the one I'm thinking of.
Busch was just out to lunch.
Yeah.
But so Hocevar would have. They had a really, really cool strategy where that caution fell right before the stage end, and they put new tires on, and his crew chief was like, "Just baby it,
Yeah.
Dude, I don't care if you're
It
running."
was so smart. Well, he put him on and started in the back anyway.
Yeah.
And so it's like, dude, we're gonna get all this track position back. Literally, just go freaking pit road speed the whole time. So smart, man.
Held and then started first, bled a little bit off
Yes.
the restart because it's used tires.
That's what you'll do.
Once the tires equalized, I mean, he was up there all day.
I know.
And here's how mad I was. So he finished like 7th that stage into stage 2, and Reddick was like 9th.
Yeah.
And I had
Oh,
Reddick in my garage, and I had Hocevar, and I'm like everything about it says put Reddick in,
I know.
even though he's behind. I was like, but Hocevar's kind of. He's going to bully his way
You
out there.
never thought that was how his day was going to end.
No, never. No.
And that's the worst
and
part
I could have
about it.
accepted it if Reddick would have just passed him.
Yeah.
And then that's what screwed my fantasy lineup up.
Or Hocevar could have tried to send it 3 wide or something
Wrecked
and
himself.
make it exactly.
I would have been like, that's on me.
Yes.
That's on me. But some mechanical failure. So Gibbs stolen one because Gibbs didn't do anything.
No, this is the guy that we talked about week in and week out that just sucks this year.
Yeah. And he's beaten Hocevar.
I know.
He's gotten 2 lucky breaks in a row. I think.
Has.
So the best one of the week, if you looked at it, was Bubba Briscoe.
Yeah.
So this is our only matchup that's 3-3. So all these other ones are 2-4. And they finished. I think Bubba was 3rd, Briscoe was 4th.
Wow.
So if that's how it's going to be, if that's how it's going to be week to week, this will be a really fun one to watch.
That will be really fun.
But statement day from Bubba, I'm really excited about that going into Martinsville.
Yeah.
That's one of his best tracks. So perfect segue, I think, into Drop the Green Bets if you're ready.
Yeah, man.
Give us a little overview
I'll
of
give
where
you an
we're at.
update. Last week, of course, we had a plethora of picks. We went with rounded out Josh top 10, Carson top 10. We did a couple parlays that didn't work out, and then the only thing we hit was an AJ Allmendinger top 10. But what I will say, dude, is this year we have been so close. Like, we are on it. I mean, yes, we haven't hit everything we wanted to, but we're hitting. Like, we're really close. We're hitting these. No one thought AJ. We're giving him out. We're giving this free pick out. You know, he is so good here. The sports books don't know what's going on. That was easy money. What'd I say we got him at? Plus 250.
Yeah, it's crazy.
For a top 10. He was
crazy.
there all day. He qualified 8th or something?
Yeah.
He was there all day. So, easy money there, but we are down 4 units. Let's get to the
Flat
nitty-gritty.
4?
Flat 4. 3.98 if you want to get crazy with me.
So we are down 4 units.
4.
Not to get too far ahead, but the wheel, if y'all are keeping up, is down 3.5.
Yep.
Correct?
3.5. They got a half unit on us. But not after this week.
Not after this week. All right.
Because Austin said it countless times. If he hadn't said it on the show, he's texted it to me every day on the top of the hour, every hour. Ryan Preece is going to show up this week.
He will.
Right?
He will, yeah. He's probably going to get the pole.
He ran really well here at Miami.
He's ran pretty good every week.
He has.
I remind you every week.
I know. He's building up that momentum. And so you've got me. Hook, line, and sinker.
Perfect.
I'm in. First pick, Ryan Preece top 10, plus 110, full unit. We're going full unit on
I like it. I think that's safe.
I do think it's safe.
Safe.
I mean, I
And
think
we like safe. When we're down 4,
we gotta go. We
Got a
gotta
little
play this
safe.
safe. And I think we could easily sweep this weekend. We could. Next pick, I'm going Josh Berry, top 10, plus 110. So all these are plus 110. Full unit on Josh Berry. Penske is going to be really good here. We said it before the show. Penske knows how to roll these corners with speed. They're going to give that to Josh. You put Josh in a short track, at a short track, with the fastest car on the short track, watch the hell out.
Yeah.
He's going to be good. So if he could stay out of his own way and not get caught up in anything serious, have a clean pit road.
no one runs into him on pit road.
Dude, what do we got to do?
I don't know. That wasn't on him.
No, it was on, I mean,
He just has bad luck.
yeah, awful. Because that killed my day.
I know.
Because we had him, dude. He was locked up. Anyway.
2 great picks. It can only get better from here.
Yeah, it can only get better from here. Last one, huge momentum builder for this guy at Miami. We're going with the big BW Bubba Wallace. Top 10, plus 110. These are such good value picks. Literally, I got a unit. I got 2.5 units on them, okay, for top 10s.
So half unit on Bubba.
Half unit on Bubba. I'm sorry. Half unit on Bubba. So 1 on Priest, 1 on Josh Berry, half unit on Bubba. And that's because I wanted to have a little bit more fun with Priest on my next pick. But what I wanted to say is, man, if you don't want to bet full units on these guys, I'm telling you, parlay them together on DraftKings here.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that at plus 110, you pick those 3 and they get in, which they have all potential too. Like, if they literally just have a good race and stay out of trouble, they're going to finish top 10 to me. So, parlay those together, have some fun. For my last pick, you got me so good just because you've been talking about him.
Salesman of the year over here.
Salesman of the year. And I, honestly, guys, the only thing, if we lose, it better not be because of Josh Berry and Bubba Wallace, dude.
Yeah.
I want Ryan Priest to finish 33rd. Okay? If he doesn't finish top 10, I want him to finish 33rd.
Yeah. Still a win for you because I'm wrong.
That's what I would love to get on here and say. Because I don't know about it, but you've got me. Ryan Priest, top Ford plus 800. So we talked about this because we know how good Penske is here. I don't think he's going to have any trouble from any other Fords besides Penske if they actually bring the speed. My only thing is because you were like, well, then just bet him to win. And I was like, I don't know, because I do think Willie B's good here.
Yeah.
You never know what Seabell or Denny could possibly do here. I mean, apparently Denny's still like Martinsville God.
Yeah. Hasn't won since 19.
Yeah, but apparently
He is.
I know, but it's like one of those things. When I said last week when I made this pick, as long as Denny doesn't have a day, Denny tried to have a day on us, you know. So we'd be betting against all those things. That's why I think it's perfect to bet him at a top Ford spot, because we know how much Blaney has struggled. We don't hear anything out of Joey.
It's true.
We hear Joey's name in the stage 1, and I feel like it's it. And to me, it's going to be him and Josh Berry. I think Cindric will be obsolete like normal. Yeah. I mean, he's actually ran more consistent this year. But if he can beat those 4 cars, there's no other Ford that's going to beat him.
No, I mean,
I
agree with you. I agree with you.
Top Ford plus 800, half a unit. Let's have a day.
Let's have a day.
Yeah.
Let's have a day.
Bob does sports. Let's have a day.
Yeah. So we got Ryan Priest, top 10, plus 110, 1 unit.
Yeah.
Josh Berry, top 10, plus 110, 1 unit. Bubba Wallace, top 10, plus 110, half unit. Ryan Priest, top Ford, half unit.
Yes.
At plus 800.
800.
I like it.
Money bank.
We got to sweep eventually.
Yeah.
All right.
Why not us?
Let's see how the wheel screws me.
Let's see what the wheel does. Let me pull her up.
It's going to be Cody Ware again. What's worst case scenario? Worst case scenario is race winner.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah,
always.
That is always
and
the
then
worst
it's going to give me
for you.
And then it's going to give me Ty Dillon.
It could give you Ty Dillon.
So we will spin the wheel first for our bet type.
Yep.
See what we get, and then we will go from there. Give it a spin.
You got to remind me before the show. I have a drum roll thing on the soundboard. We just don't utilize it.
No, at this point, it's something you say every week, so we're just gonna keep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's the new bit. It's the new bit we got.
Okay. Okay. All right. You ready?
Remind me.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You can kind of hear it over the speaker.
Yeah, you kind of can.
Yeah. There's no reason for me to sound like an idiot.
Yeah.
We got top 10, top Toyota, top 3, top Chevy.
Oh!
Winner. You're shitting me.
Oh,
top Ford.
This is not bad for you.
You know what happened last time?
I know, but I
Spencer,
mean,
if it does it again.
I know, but it.
Okay,
it may
so
not.
we're spinning for top Ford.
I know. We're spinning for top.
The wheel is top Ford. So now we will pull up our wheel of Ford drivers.
Yeah.
And we're gonna watch it spin to Cody Ware.
I can't see. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Do you want me to put my finger where it needs to go?
Well, I can't see my mouse.
Your mouse is right here. Boop, boop. I don't know. That one? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I need.
It's teamwork. This is good radio.
This is.
Ford drivers pulling our Ford driver wheel up.
It's if you can hold your hand the way the window and the sun hits, that's the problem.
Is it that right there?
Yeah, that's perfect. All right.
All right. We will spin our Ford wheel.
We didn't get a weird ad that time. That was cool.
Hey, don't jinx it.
I know. All right, you ready?
Ready. Who do we want?
I think you want Prime Priest. Yeah.
That'd be meant to be.
It would be mad.
That would be meant to be.
It would be so mad if you got freaking Ryan Blaney, though.
Is it Brad K?
Oh!
Brad K.
Oh, Brad K.
I'm not upset with that.
No.
I'm not upset with that.
Brad K, top Ford. We need the odds on that?
Yeah, need the odds on that.
The odds on that are going to be...
Plus 650 is my guess.
Oh, they're going to be higher than...
No, he's going to be lower than
Priest.
Yeah,
think?
he's won there many times.
That's true. That's true. All sports.
What's your guess?
My guess is probably gonna be 750.
Okay.
750. Driver props. No, race props. Top Ford. Brad K is also plus 800.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Goes Ryan Blaney plus 120. Joey plus 275. And Josh Berry plus 500.
Wow.
And then Brad K.
All right. I'm not upset with that.
No.
After you spend top Ford Cody Ware, everything looks,
Everything
looks great.
That's a good point.
All right. I'm excited about those. I think they're going to hit, honestly.
Dude, that would be sweet.
We don't have a big hole to climb out of, so I'm not worried about it. You ready to get into some Martinsville predictions?
I am, man. Let's do it.
We'll be real quick because my first line here, and I think you'll agree, I put hoping for as good of a Martinsville race as the next gen can be. And I feel like that's all we can ever ask for when we take this car to Martinsville, because we've seen some absolute terrible races. The shifting makes it terrible.
Yes.
Last November, it was
Shifting sucked.
Last November was pretty decent. I think it was as good as we can expect.
Mm-hmm. They finally brought a soft tire.
Soft tire,
Yeah.
which helps, but it's still not the Martinsville we want to see.
No.
But at this point, we just gotta let's keep working on it.
Yep.
Hope for better and better. So
And we've gotten that out of every single track we've been to this year.
I know.
So
Do
it's
we
hard
fall
not
off a
to
cliff
get.
here?
I know. Well, it's just like we know how NASCAR can do this bait and switch thing with us, where they just finally find something and they're like, "Yeah, let's go back to no one can pass anybody."
Right. Yeah.
Riding around in circles.
Everyone's too excited.
Yeah. We need to show who's
We're
in
doing
charge.
way too good of a job.
Exactly. So I think I'm super excited again. Like we have just built up. There's no reason.
And maybe
why this race is
maybe
gonna
it'll be
good.
great. Maybe it'll be great.
And it could.
It could be. That's what we hope for. All right, question for you.
Yeah.
How does Ryan Blaney lose the race this week? Because he's going to.
Yeah, he's definitely going to. I think he fixes his engine issues and actually blows out a left front tire.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or loose wheel. Him and the Penske crew, they just have awful stops all day. Something's going, speeding on pit roads, something. And that's what it is.
I think he drags equipment out of the pit box.
Oh, that's a good pick, too.
It's just what comes, like gas can, wedge wrench, or just like drags a guy that's changing a wheel out of it. He's still tightening it. They drop the jack. Brian, the 12 car.
There's 2 arms and a freaking air hose running down.
The 12 car and the left rear tire changer go flying.
Go flying. Okay.
It's got to be something like that.
Yeah, it does.
He's not going to win.
No.
He's going to have a great day.
He is.
Until.
He's going to have a great first stage 1 and stage 2. And as fantasy players, we're going to be like, we have to leave him in. And then 3 laps into stage 3, he's going to do something
terrible.
Stupid.
Yeah. All right, I'm glad you agree with me.
No, I do.
Right,
I mean,
last question, we'll close out. Are we gearing up for another surprise? So when I say surprise, kind of talking about the stuff we've already talked about a little, maybe some Ryan Preece, maybe some Josh Berry. I still think a 2-win season for Josh Berry is a surprise.
Yeah, I think we're already at a surprise with
I agree. Or maybe a Bubba or something like that. Mm-hmm. Are we gearing that way, or are we going to spend 4 hours to watch Willie B win a race?
I'm just leaning towards that way because it's been a minute for him. We haven't heard his name as much. Mm-hmm. These tracks we've went to, per se, after Daytona, even though he's competed with because it was tough because Christopher Bell won 3 in a row. Yeah. But Willie B was there the whole time. I definitely see how this. I just feel, I don't know why, but I'm so excited. We've had really good races. We've had a surprise winner already. It is time for Willie B just to get out there and lead 95% of the laps, and no one can pass. And then after 4 hours, we give Willie B his second one of the year. I don't know why. You know what I mean? But I don't know if Blaney doesn't have a good car. I just feel like those Penske cars don't bring the same car that they do in the fall. When it means more.
Yeah, maybe strategically.
100%, which just sucks because then you don't get... Because the fall race sometimes is really good, because like you said, the last one that we saw was pretty good.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, to me it's sizing up to kind of be a boring...
Status quo.
Yeah. I feel like we're going to give it a 7, 5, 8 at the max. Just something... All I hope is it just doesn't turn into green, white checkers after green, white checkers after green, white checkers.
Yeah. I think you are safe there.
Yeah.
Because I think it's just going to be long green flag runs.
Okay.
Fuel mileage, because the tires won't wear out.
I love a good fuel mileage.
Short track.
Mile and a half.
Yeah, half mile.
Or half mile.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah.
That's real racing.
Love it.
No, I agree with you. I'm expecting the worst, hoping for the best.
Yeah.
So, and Ryan Blaney will not win.
I think, yeah.
I wish you could bet on that.
Yeah. You could bet non-winners.
Ryan Blaney, ultimate failure.
I wish I could pick. Wouldn't it be so cool if you could bet that not only and then parlay 32 drivers together to not win?
I know.
And then you picked them all right? Yeah. Be crazy.
That would be wild.
You'd probably win $4.
Yeah. Take notes, DraftKings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you want to close it on out? We doing good on time? Are we going too fast?
I mean, we're at an hour 10.
Hour 10.
Yeah.
I feel like you got a 20-minute choose who's on here.
No, probably not, but I didn't give you anything to go off of.
Awesome.
I love it.
All right, we'll close it out.
Yeah, we'll close it out. Choose who's on.
I feel like we got to have a little bit shorter one for you guys. We had some long ones here recently.
Yeah, we did. I think they were
evidently
good.
Y'all don't want to listen.
I know. No, you guys go listen to that Breakhard interview, guys. He's
very good.
He did a really good job. I know I got to get better. Oh my God, I can't. What is going on? Hide your eyes just in case. said
Oh,
hide your
sorry.
eyes. You're good.
I didn't see.
I was saying something before. I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, go listen to that break card interview. We split it up for you guys. So you're like, oh, I'm so scared of the hour and 15-minute video or 2 hour and 15-minute video. Listen to the episode, skip through the break card interview, listen to that, and then go back and listen to that when you have a time.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
split it up for you. It was perfect. Quit complaining.
I thought we had supporters.
I did too.
I did.
I did too. Apparently not. What's going on here? All right.
You ready for me?
I'm ready for it.
All right. Choose who's on.
Choose who's on. If you don't know the rules, stay tuned because we'll give them to you. 3 facts, 2 questions, 3 total guesses. You can trade guesses for questions. Here are your facts this week. I believe this is 6.
Unless I missed one, I've got us 4-1. Did
Yeah,
I
plus
miss one?
Colby's.
Oh, plus Colby's. Yeah. This is week 6.
Okay.
Yeah. You've only won once.
Yeah.
I've won 4 times. Colby's won once. You have won once.
Yeah.
So I am basically the Josh Berry of this situation.
Okay, dude. Enough of that. Here are your 3 facts.
Truck Series champion.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to read them the way it was.
No.
No, my bad.
Go ahead.
This
No,
is
go
my
ahead,
role.
go
This is my
ahead.
game. Truck Series champion, Xfinity Series champion, has ran over 400 races in the Cup Series. Who do you
I mean, I have a guess right off the top of my head.
Go.
Right off the top of my head.
Yeah. Hit us with it.
I feel like I should ask a question.
Okay.
Is this driver from the geographical region of the United States known as the Pacific Northwest?
Pacific Northwest?
Pacific Northwest.
It's one of your questions?
Yeah.
No, he is not. Pacific
Northwest. That'd be like Washington, Oregon.
Yes, I know.
He's not from
It's
that.
not. No.
It's not Greg Biffle, is what you're saying.
That is what I'm saying.
Really? Are you sure?
If you're going to sit here and question me on this game that I made,
Truck Series champion. Dude, I definitely know who this is now.
you got it.
Yeah, I think so. Is
Ask
this
another
person? Is this person? I kind of want to ask a question to be funny, but if I'm wrong, it's just not going to be funny at all. A grade A piece of shit. No. How many cup wins does this driver have? Will you answer that question? And is it 5?
How many wins does this guy have?
And is it 5?
And is it 5? Is that 2 questions?
No,
so you get
just
one
the
guess?
second one was rhetorical.
Oh, okay.
Because you're going to tell me it's 5. I already.
Am I?
Yeah, I got a feeling.
Am I going to tell you it's 5?
I got a feeling. It's really 4.5 if it's who I'm thinking of.
He does have 5. Cup Series.
5 wins.
Yeah.
You did me dirty.
I did.
You did me dirty.
I did.
By picking the absolute scum of the earth. You would only do this when I also picked Kyle Petty.
Yep.
You picked the modern day Kyle Petty.
I did.
Is it Austin Dillon?
It is. It is.
Oh
Austin
my
Dillon,
god,
man.
dude. What a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I hate this guy.
Yeah. He's a good looking dude. No.
Absolute terrible person.
I loved how your first thought was Greg Biffle, though.
That's Greg Biffle.
That is Greg Biffle.
That is Greg Biffle. Is that who were you trying to get me in between those two?
No, I was really. Yes, I kind of. Greg Biffle was the thought. I was hoping to also get you with. I forgot his name now. I'm so sorry. Went blank. But yes, Greg Biffle was the one I was trying to get you with. But there was one more, and I was hoping that you would guess that and then panic again.
Like a Ron Hornaday, maybe? Or?
Yeah, maybe it was
Okay.
Ron. There was another guy I looked at. I was looking through Truck Series champions, and then I compared that to a list of Xfinity Series champions.
Yeah. God, I hate Austin Dillon. Why did you put me in a bad mood?
I love that.
Dude, I hate that.
Yeah. Hold on, let's
You can-
run
yeah,
through.
let-
Hold on, let's run through the greatest driver to ever
dude.
do it.
It'll take about 3 seconds.
Hold on. God, I wish we could do that drum roll thing again. 2011 NASCAR Camping World Truck Series champion.
Wow.
Amazing. 2013 NASCAR Nationwide Series champion. Xfinity. 2014 Daytona 500 pole winner. Can't beat that.
Yeah.
2017 Coca-Cola 600 winner.
Fuel mileage. I'm
Yeah.
going to give you the caveat to each
Oh,
one.
no,
Let's
I
go.
will. I love this one. 2018 Daytona 500 winner.
Tried to kill Eric Almirola.
Yeah, he did.
Borderline murder.
2021 Duels winner.
I don't even remember that.
I don't either.
I don't even remember that.
I don't either. But it's the Duels. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
2022 Coke Zero Sugar.
Yeah.
That was at Daytona. So
Yeah,
that was the rain one, right?
75% of the
Field
wrecked
I
because of
know.
the rain.
That
And he
was-
was running 30 seconds.
I know it was. If you go back and watch that race, it is wild. They're like, rain is in the area. Drop the green, dude. We're going
Yeah.
anyway. Dude, they're wrecking in turn
They all
two.
wrecked.
Everybody. It was so bad.
And Austin Dillon was so far behind.
Yeah,
I think he was still in third gear.
it's literally like the movie Cars. The
is,
first
it
one
is.
with Lightning McQueen just driving through the mayhem.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And he was doing it at 45 miles an hour.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he also won. So we have time to go through all 5 of his illustrious wins.
Yeah, we do.
So he won a Texas race. It was like a late race restart in the 550 horsepower package.
Oh, wow.
And it was just BS.
Okay.
I mean, what? That's like his most legitimate one. I guess you could give him that one.
Uh-huh.
So maybe like I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But really not. Mm-hmm. And then obviously we had last year, Richmond, where he ran really good all day.
He did, dude.
Was
If he
leading-
would have just finished, he would have finished second or third in that
Yeah.
race, and we would have been like, "Wow,
Good for you.
great day you've put together, buddy."
Yeah.
But
So-
no, you couldn't just take that.
So caution happens. I can't remember who wrecked, but as always, green
I
white
feel like it
checker.
was Ricky.
It was Ricky.
Okay,
It was Ricky.
I mean, I
Yeah,
wasn't
it was
just saying
Ricky. No, it
but I
was.
feel like it was.
It was Ricky. Yeah. Always a good guess.
It's always a solid guess.
And his green white checkered, he got absolutely schooled on the restart.
Yeah, he did.
He looked like he was a pay to play Xfinity driver.
Yeah, which
And
he kind of is.
he kind of is
Yeah,
in a
he
way,
kinda
if you
is.
think about it. And then goes in there wide open, wrecks Joey, and almost loses to Denny, and is like, "No,
Yeah.
I'm gonna right rear Denny,"
Yeah,
and wins.
Yeah.
And we're like, "What the hell just happened?" Little side note, because we got a little bit of time here.
We do.
This is kind of little on Twitter, and it was also like an article posted by Bob Pockers. So it was found out shortly after that race, like 2-3 weeks after, that a member of Joe Gibbs Racing, like one of the crew guys, not crew guys, but like shop guys, like engineers, one of those guys, had been caught selling information to a member of RCR.
no,
Like exchanging cash and selling information, right? Which is not illegal. It's not
Really?
illegal. I mean,
It's not?
what rule on the book would there be? I mean, it'd be like
you not sign a indie like a
that'd be with the teams. It wouldn't be with NASCAR.
But you're saying
Basically, this JGR guy.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's 2 buddies, right? It's
Yeah,
like me
of
and
course,
you, but
yeah.
you work for JGR,
and you
I
work
work
for
for RCR.
Yeah.
And we're at the bar one night.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, what? I just need to know
yeah.
something.
What are you guys doing?
And you're like, dude, you slap me $500, I'll give you a setup sheet.
Yeah,
Basically how this went. You know, from the context, I'm obviously making this up.
of course.
But
it's way more fun this way.
But at the end of the day, information was exchanged from JGR to RCR. Mm-hmm. Okay? And it got leaked. We don't know names. I'm sure whoever those people were probably got fired.
Yes.
But there's nothing NASCAR can do about it. NASCAR even made the statement like, yeah, like that's not good.
Yeah.
But what do you want us to do?
Oh, so they were trying to get NASCAR involved in it.
Well,
per
NASCAR, media reached out to
Checked the
NASCAR and
NASCAR.
was like, what are you going to do? And they're like, what do you...
Yeah, we're
what
not
do you
going to do
want us to
anything.
do?
Okay, I understand.
What's
I
the
understand
difference
now.
in that and Spire and Hendrick collaborating?
Oh, yeah.
You know, nothing. Except this time there was just money exchange.
Exactly.
So, and I'm
It's like Jeremy Pruitt giving your players a
bag of it,
McDonald's
yeah.
bag full
which
of cash.
was against the rules
At the time.
at the time, yeah.
Not anymore.
And I'm 99% sure it was JGR to RCR. It might have been someone else, but I'm pretty sure it was JGR. So if I'm wrong on that, I apologize. But for sure, there's an article out, like podcasts and all this. A member of another team sold information to RCR, and then it was just like, boom, Austin Dillon's amazing
at Richmond.
At Richmond.
But how was Kyle Busch so bad?
I don't know. That's when I put my tinfoil hat on.
Yeah.
I was hoping you bring this up earlier when I brought it up about Homestead.
Yeah.
I was hoping you'd be like, well, maybe Austin Dillon's just a little, Pop's favorite. And everything goes. And I would have got on board with that.
Yeah, okay.
Probably not true, but because I'm a firm believer, like, all these teams prepare cars equally.
Yeah.
But if there was one team that was going to show preference,
it would be the RCR.
It'd be Pop's little special boy.
Yeah, it would.
Austin Dillon, the 2011.
I heard
champion.
from our buddy Breakhard. He put out a video this week that Richard Childers and the 11 team got in a little scruff. Is that on Denny's podcast?
Yeah, so the way Denny told on his podcast was there was like a convoy of JGR like rental cars leaving the track.
Yeah.
Right? And so they had a police escort.
Uh-huh.
And it's all the JGR guys and rental cars, personal cars, whatever. Probably rental cars because they're in Homestead.
Yeah.
Nobody drove. And Richard Childress in his rental car is like pulling up, at the intersection.
Uh-huh.
And was like, wow, I'm Richard Childress. I'm important. I'm going to get in this convoy. And no one's letting him in, right? And and it's some like random JGR crew guy or whoever.
Yeah.
Denny never said who it was, but Richard pulls up like, let me in. They're like, no. And he just rams the car. There's a picture. Denny posted a picture. Oh, no,
I saw the picture.
That was Richard Childress just, I'm going to get in this police escort.
If you haven't seen it, dude, like...
destroyed a car.
Almost totaled it.
Yeah.
Like, as far as car standards go now, totaled it.
Yeah.
Like, unreal how hard he hit.
And I'm assuming he just got in that convoy and went.
Oh, my gosh. Do we think this is like some beef between RCR and...
No, I think RCR probably did, or I'm sorry, Richard Childress probably didn't even realize who he saw a convoy in his mind. I'm sure he's like,
this is for me.
This is for me. Yeah. I should be here. I've given a lot to this sport. And he just was Richard Childress.
First off, why are they letting this man drive around?
Dude, I don't know. He's got to be 80-something.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he's 80-something.
He's got to be 80-something.
He's had a lot of plastic surgery.
I mean, yeah, he has, but we'll get this guy off the screen for you here.
Yeah, we got a little time to do some research.
Yeah.
As long as we don't go 2 hours, we know y'all don't want to listen to that.
No, we do know that. God forbid we have a good conversation.
God forbid we provide for you people.
Yeah. God forbid.
I think he's around the same age as Dale. Dale died at 50 in 01. Dale today would be 75. Maybe Richard was a little bit older. I'm going to say Richard's 79. That's my guess. You want me to look it up?
No, I got it. I was doing something. I was fixing the thing.
No. 79's my guess. What's your guess?
79's your guess?
Yeah.
I'm going to say 83.
All right.
83. Richard Childress is 79.
Ooh.
Good shot. Born in 1945, dude. Wow. Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Yeah, he grew up selling popcorn at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Dang.
And he was like, I want to be a race car driver. And one day, my grandson's going to have 5 wins. And 4 of them are going to be illegitimate. That's what he said in Bowman Gray Stadium.
Is that what he said?
When he was selling popcorn, He was telling everybody.
I bet you he was.
Telling everybody, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's going to have the nicest hair you've ever seen.
Yeah.
And wear a Gucci t-shirt, and he's going to have his own TV show on USA Network.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? That was Richard Childress.
Man, I hope I'm him one day.
Yeah.
Really.
I hope I'm his grandson one day. Good God.
Silver Spoon.
Silver Spoon.
Does that bring you back to old
Yeah, that's my old
days?
Twitter name.
Yeah.
Austin Dillon Silver Spoon. I took the Sugar Smacks frog.
I know.
That holds the Sugar Smacks frog that holds that big spoon. And I photoshopped Austin Dillon's face on that frog.
Oh.
And that was a good time.
You know what's so funny? What's even more funny about that, knowing you, is you hate technology.
Dude,
and
it took so long.
I know.
That's the hate.
Probably win.
That's the hate that was oozing out of my body.
Yeah, hold on. I just want to give you a little clarification because it's the funniest shit I've heard all day. Is Austin always makes a show sheet for the podcast, and he texted me today, and he was like, "Hey, can you send me the show sheet?" Didn't save it. And I was like, okay.
Because my computer won't save it because I don't have Microsoft Word anymore.
Exactly.
Because I refuse to pay for Microsoft Word.
Completely fair.
Yeah.
So you do like any normal person does. You get on Google Docs, right?
Yeah.
Gets on Google Docs. And I was like, yeah, I'll send it to you. And he goes, wait, never mind. It's saved automatically. And I'm like,
it did, yeah.
Oh, whoa. This is brand new.
I thought you just sent me a document last time, not a Google Doc.
Yeah.
There's no explaining my way out of this.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go home.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah,
appreciate.
thanks,
remind us of our song again, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Shining Coal.
JD Hutchins, maybe?
Huggins.
Huggins.
I'm so sorry.
We didn't get this right.
I know we do.
Yep.
Huggins.
JD Huggins, Shining
Yep.
Coal.
Follow him on Instagram. I'll have that link. I'll have his Instagram in the bio, and I'll also have the song in there. It's on Spotify, Apple, everything. Give it a listen. Great. Thank you to him and his band. We really appreciate it. And if his mom's listening, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank y'all.
Yeah.
Huge shout out to Kevin Kirkland,
Yep.
Noah Pendry, Ben Burrow. Huge supporters. Appreciate you. We're going to say your name every time.
Should we add JD to the list?
Did JD do something for us?
JD Huggins. Should we add him
Oh,
to the
yeah.
list?
Sorry. I was thinking.
No.
I was thinking of JD Zimmerman.
No, Zimmerman, no.
No.
Forget that guy, dude.
Yeah, no,
He doesn't
JD.
even listen. JD
Yeah, exactly. No, JD Huggins. We'll put him on the list as well.
I mean, I feel like he's a supporter. I mean, he didn't do it in monetary value, but this was a very expensive thing that he gave us.
That's true.
I mean-
Yep. So we'll put him up there. So
Okay.
Kevin Kirkland, Noah Pendry, Ben Burrow, JD Huggins are VIPs.
Yep.
Our biggest supporters. We appreciate y'all. Couldn't do it without y'all, and we couldn't do it without the rest of y'all that are just waiting to donate. So
I know.
that's all I got. Spencer, you got anything?
I don't think so, man.
All right. Well, I appreciate all you do for us and everyone listening. So we'll see you next week.
All right, we'll see y'all.
I got no problems if I stand alone in the land of shining coal. Back down that valley where the roosters crow and the land defense is on.